Seguidores de Prensa Arizona, bienvenidos a este reporte especial. Hoy tenemos con nosotros a la gobernadora de Arizona, Katie Hobbs, y vamos a hablar de distintos temas de interés para nuestra comunidad. Governor, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I know it's been a busy time with the budget, and I know you have some thoughts about that. But
Yes.
Can you tell us about this many families struggling with the rising cost of healthcare? So what is your administration doing right now to make healthcare more affordable for working families?
Yeah, healthcare is one of the challenges I hear from families all across Arizona who are really seeing costs rising with healthcare, with groceries, with gas. And so much of it is because of Washington's cost hiking agenda. So as governor, I've worked to help improve access to healthcare. We have lowered prescription drug costs. I have canceled over $600 million of medical debt for almost 500,000 Arizonans. There's more to come on that for sure. But especially given the fact that that Washington's partisan budget is cutting Medicaid that so many Arizonans rely on, it's going to make this even more challenging. And we're gearing up for those cuts and working with healthcare partners across the state to help ensure that Arizonans continue to have access to the healthcare that they need. But it's going to be a challenge. We can't fill the gaps left by the federal government's cuts. The other thing is just the cuts are going to create healthcare deserts for people where healthcare is already inaccessible because there's not enough providers. And we're going to see the closure of rural hospitals, and we're doing everything we can to try to help make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, talking about the deserts, there's also deserts on childcare.
Yes.
And I was asking you last time I saw you about this growing crisis about childcare. Right now, we have around 10,000 kids without this service. So how to fix this and make childcare more affordable? And on the other hand, a lot of daycares are closing or cutting employees because of this.
Yeah, so I'm a working mom. My kids are grown now, but I know the struggle of finding childcare and paying for it. And childcare today for many families costs more per year than tuition at our 3 state universities, and that is challenging for families. It's also a problem for employers, because if families have childcare struggles, it means they're distracted at work, they're not coming to work. It creates workforce issues as well. And so I knew that we needed to take a comprehensive approach. So attacking the cost and trying to help lower the cost of childcare is really important. Trying to address the shortage of childcare providers, and that means investing in childcare workforce to train more quality childcare providers, but also the smaller providers like the in-home providers, reducing some of the barriers that allow them to provide care so that people have more access in their communities where they need it to that quality childcare. And when we are investing in childcare for Arizonans to be able to afford it, it means they can go to work. We're creating more opportunity for them and for the next generation.
Okay, talking about economy, Arizona's economy continues to grow, but many families say those wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. So what is your message for those people that feel like they're being left behind?
Yeah. I'm really proud of the work that we've done to continue to create jobs, but I know that there's more to do, because I know that as well as Arizona's economy is doing compared to a lot of the rest of the country, that a lot of Arizonans aren't feeling that. And so I've been focused on how we can continue to bring good paying jobs to Arizona, but that's not enough. We have to make sure that Arizonans have the skills that are needed to get those good paying jobs. And a lot of these jobs don't need college degrees, but they provide family sustaining wages. And so we're really working to get people into those pathways for those jobs. We've invested in workforce with apprenticeship programs, with specific industry, with workforce accelerators at our community colleges. A lot of those are certificate programs. They're not degree programs, and just working to plug Arizonans into those opportunities.
Okay, so talking about the economy as well, Arizona has one of the strongest economic relationships with Mexico. Mm-hmm. So now that there's a decision by the federal mm-hmm. government of not going through the USMCA, mm-hmm. What this mean for Arizona's future?
So Arizona, under my leadership, has been more involved than any other state in pushing for a fair review of the USMCA to ensure that we continue to benefit from what USMCA does for our economy here in Arizona and for our neighbors. Mexico is our top trading partner, and having a fair agreement ensures that both of our economies remain strong. So we commissioned a report that talked about what's working with USMCA, what we wanted to see in the review to ensure that it continues working for Arizona. Mexico is our top trading partner. Canada is the other country in the equation. They're our number 3 trading partner, and having that mutually beneficial trade relationship throughout North America is critical for all of our economies.
Okay. About border security, mm-hmm. You have said Arizona needs both secure borders and an effective immigration system. Mm-hmm. In your view, what does real border security look like, and where do you believe Washington is falling short?
So I have prioritized border security from day one of my administration. I know that it is important for Arizonans to have a safe and secure border. And it's why I've taken action to send National Guard to the border to stop drugs. It's why I created Operation Desert Guardian, focused on going after cartel activity throughout the state. And we've produced real results. We've stopped over 18 million fentanyl pills at the border, stopped them from coming into our communities. We've stopped over 1,000 illegal weapons, and we've built partnerships that are helping fight crime across the state and help Arizonans stay safe. We're going after the traffickers, the drug dealers, the smugglers, and that's going to continue to be my priority. We've worked to engage the federal government in our efforts so that there's true partnership and it's not just a state effort. It is a federal border and we need their partnership. And I'm really proud of the work that we've done.
Okay. Talking about ICE enforcement mm-hmm. Operation that have become more visible in Arizona in the last weeks. There is really raising concerns in many mm-hmm. immigrant communities. What role should the state play when federal immigration operations create this fear among families?
I am always going to prioritize going after crime and ensuring that our communities are safe. And I know that there's a lot of concern, especially given 2 now killings by ICE agents. Both of them seem to be targeting the wrong, that they've targeted the wrong person. I am glad to see that that Homeland Security put a temporary stop to traffic stops. But that is not enough. We need to ensure that there are thorough investigations of these incidents, that if there is any wrongdoing, that the wrongdoers are held accountable. And we need to continue to encourage the Trump administration to lower the temperature and to stop these just indiscriminate enforcement activities that are creating fear and distrust in our communities and really undermining all of our safety and the safety of law enforcement.
Another topic that's real concerning is about violence and teen gun access. Mm-hmm. We had 3 shootings in the last weeks with teenagers. So do you believe Arizona should tighten access to firearms for minors? And if so, what the specific policies will you support?
So I think that the majority of Arizonans support common sense regulation that continues to support the right to own firearms, but that protects people that are vulnerable to that. I have worked to both during my time in the legislature and now as governor to focus on legislation that does that without infringing on people's rights. But we have to make sure that people who shouldn't have access to guns don't have access to guns, and that if you're a gun owner and you have minors in your house, that there are precautions taken to secure those. It's been frustrating because we have seen incidents in Arizona that could have led to stronger legislation. And it's something that I'll continue to work for.
About public safety, parents across Arizona are increasingly worried about school safety. Mm-hmm. Beyond increasing police presence, what long-term solutions do you believe can prevent youth violence?
Yeah, well, I think, we just touched on the gun safety issue, but I think also prioritizing student mental health is important. And the grants that are administered to school districts around school safety can be used for increased law enforcement presence with school resource officers, but they can also be used for social workers and other mental health professionals. And the superintendent of public instruction has prioritized law enforcement over mental health. And I think that we should be focused on letting the schools prioritize what works best in their communities. And if schools want to use that funding for mental health professionals, there should be funding available to do that. And I think really working to increase the presence of mental health professionals that can help students who are dealing with these kinds of issues is really critical.
As you seek to continue your agenda, what do you believe has been your administration's biggest accomplishment, and what issue keeps you awake at night because it remains unsolved?
That's a hard question because I'm really proud of a lot of the work we've done. When I took office, I think we had been ignoring a lot of challenges for a long time, making sure that we were protecting our water for future generations, border security, lowering costs, especially around housing, but also the other things we've discussed like childcare and healthcare. And we've done a lot to deliver on all of those issues, but I know that there's more to be done. And those are the things I'm hearing from Arizonans that they still want prioritized. And so we're going to continue to work to tackle those.
Talking about there's more to be done. Mm-hmm. In case you get reelected, mm-hmm. what will be your priority in a second term?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've made a lot of progress on housing. And one bill that I signed this year will help lower the cost of buying homes for families. I think we need to do more to look at how we can lower costs for home ownership. We invested in down payment assistance and mortgage rate assistance for first-time home buyers, but we need to be able to do more of that. And so housing is a big issue, but then also our water future. And we're in the middle of negotiations on the future of the Colorado River system. And so much of what's happening in Arizona is dependent on us getting our fair share. We grow more leafy greens. We produce more critical minerals, more advanced chips, more missile defense systems than any other state in the Colorado River Basin per drop of water. And so we are going to continue to fight to make sure that we get our fair share so that we can continue the trajectory we're on and continue creating the opportunity for future generations of Arizonans.
If you could get granted something from the federal government, what would you ask?
Wow. I mean, I would love for them to stop cutting funds for Arizonans that we need. I mean, we have seen over the last year and a half, Washington's cost-hiking, job-killing agenda that is hurting Arizonans. It's ripping away their healthcare, their food security, and the state can't make up that difference. And we need the federal government to hear from Arizonans about what's happening to them and work to focus on my focus is on Arizona first and putting Arizonans first before any political agenda. And I want Washington to do the same thing.
Arizona Hispanic community plays a vital role in the state's economy and culture. What is the message that you like to send to Latino families concerned about the future of immigration, public safety, and economic opportunity?
So our Latino community is such a big part of our identity as a state. And I've had the opportunity as I travel the state to talk with so many different Arizonans, including Latinos. Recently, I spent some time at Comida Park in Tucson with Latino small business owners and talked with them about what Washington's agenda is doing to their small businesses. And for these folks they were food truck owners. And so it was driving up the cost of fuel to operate their business, but also all of the things that go into producing their products. They're trying to stay afloat. They're trying to not have to raise their prices because they know everyone's feeling the pinch of rising costs. But I think the thing that really stands out to me so much when I talk to folks like that is just the resilience and the determination and those folks who have a dream of being an entrepreneur because of what it can afford them in their life, but also just being a part of their community and giving back to their community. And I see that kind of spirit all over Arizona. And that is what makes Arizona so great. And I'm going to continue to fight for them against Washington's agenda that is hurting so many Arizonans. And it is a privilege every day to be in the role of governor and be able to do that.
How do you feel about your chances for a second term?
Well, I think I'm proud of what I've done to deliver for Arizonans. I've focused on putting Arizonans first and partisan politics last, and we've made a lot of progress. We'll know in a week who my opponent is, but I'm confident that my record of delivering for Arizonans will speak for itself, and I am looking forward to continuing to work for another 4 years to deliver on these tough challenges that we're facing.
Well, I know you have a short time, but something else you want to add?
I just really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to continuing to tackle the tough challenges we're facing.
Well, thanks a lot, Governor.
Thank you.
Reportando para ustedes, Oscar Ramos, Prensa Arizona.